All right, all right. Live family waiting for AA. That's what the hold up is. The hold up is me waiting for AA. He said give him about 3 more minutes. So but I know I'm starting late. So I just wanted to I don't want y'all to think it be me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Let me wipe this camera. I know y'all be like, what's up with Brother Rich? Brother Rich be waiting for the guests sometime. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button. Hey, give him about well, give him a couple of minutes. Where my water at? My small water. Need my water. I'm thirsty, y'all. Ah man, yeah, but give him a couple of minutes and we'll be live. What's going on with y'all? What is going on with y'all? Let's get to this commercial real quick for my brother King Simon. And then we're gonna get started with the show. Let's get to this commercial real quick.
The legendary Professor James Smalls come to Atlanta, Georgia for 2 days. April 6th and April 7th. You don't want to miss it. He's doing a public and a private event. Text me right now at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. The legendary Professor James Smalls, as you've seen him on Hidden Colors and all the rest of the documentaries. Make sure you go to my Linktree at Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. Professor James Smalls in Atlanta, April 6th and April 7th.
All right. Shout out to Professor James Small. I actually have to call the brother. Want to get him back on the show. So I'm probably give Professor James Small a call this weekend. Probably have him on next week. Yeah, probably have him on again next week. But what's good with y'all, family? Talk to me while we wait for the brother AA Rashid. I'm trying to think if there's any updates. I want to let y'all know. The cooking video, me and KT is going to finally do the cooking video. We were supposed to do it this week, but we didn't get a chance to. We are going to do that next week for all the Patreons. Shout out to everybody who's a member on the Patreon. Me and KT is going to do a cooking video next week. I hope y'all been following Wayne Chandler's series. He has a show on my Patreon about tapping into your fourth dimensional self. And he's showing the Qigong techniques necessary to tap into your fourth dimensional self. That's what this ascension process is all about, learning that you are a fourth dimensional or a multi-dimensional being instead of just looking at yourself as third dimensional. So yeah, make sure you're if you're a member or if you're not, you might want to check out it out. Wayne Chandler. Somebody said so many big things ahead. Club 363. Yeah, definitely. So many big things ahead. Yeah. Got some amazing ideas. Can't wait for that. Definitely can't wait for that. Speak on the conscious Grammys. Billy. Yeah, Billy's having the awards. Billy, this is the second time he's doing it. So shout out to Billy. He does it down in Florida. You know what I'm saying? My Patreon is you go to Patreon and then you just type in my name, Black Magic 363. And you have to subscribe, of course, but that's the page, Black Magic 363 on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what else? I hope I sent that. Let me ask A what's his email again. Hold up, y'all. Oh, Dr. Phil texted me too. I gotta listen to that. Hold up, y'all. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I sent the link to the right email with AA. Well, just to give you a heads up, tonight we got AA. Tomorrow we got the sister Flabrun. How many of y'all are familiar with Flabrun? The sister Flabrun. She's like the female Delbert Blair, Dr. Delbert Blair. You know what I'm saying? Oh, somebody said, but yeah, she's gonna be, hold on real quick. Somebody, New Diamond said, I met the love of my life on your channel. Thank you so much. But wow, that's dope. Oh shit. That's dope. Well, you met him at the awards. New Diamond, you met him at we met him at the awards last year. Yeah, but yeah, Flabrun is gonna be on tomorrow at 9:00. We're gonna be talking about the Lyrians. You know, there's different races of extraterrestrials, and I've never talked to about the Lyrians before specifically. I've mentioned it to Billy and to see how much he know about it, but I never like had a whole show dedicated to it. So it's gonna be a real good show tomorrow. Make sure you're tuning. Oh, hold up. Where's the sister? Oh, New Diamond says she met the love of her life. This is dope, yo. Y'all hear this? I met the sister at the Forbidden Knowledge Awards. She's always in the chat, supporting. She says she met the love of her life in the chat. Damn, it's going down in the chat like that. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's powerful. That's magic. That's magic. That is truly magic. Yeah, yeah. Sanchi said, yeah, it be going down. Yeah, it be going down in the chat. Yeah, it be going down in the chat. I see it be going down in the chat, but that's dope. Yeah, in the YouTube chat. Somebody, yeah, in the YouTube chat. That's dope. So I'm glad that you was able to make a connection on a conscious platform and find somebody that vibes on the same frequency as you or similar frequency. I mean, that is beautiful. Yeah, yes. Thank you so much. This community is amazing. Yeah, it's what you make of it. It's what you make of it. There's so much help out there, and there's so much, divine love out there in this community. We just got to tap into that frequency. Somebody said Holy Ghost 3 Fallen Angel. Oh my God. Yeah, Fallen Angel. Cam was spitting on that one. I mean, he was spitting. How many of y'all heard Holy Ghost 3? Cam was spitting on Fallen Angel big time. Yeah, but in terms of people connecting in the chat, like I told y'all when I had the the party I just had, the room, I mean, it was packed with women. It was packed with women. The women are out here and they like, yo, we out here. And I'm like, damn, packed with women. Beautiful sisters too. You know what I'm saying? So, brothers, the ladies is out here. The ladies is definitely out here. Yeah, the ladies is definitely out here. So, shout out to all the ladies that came through. Somebody said I bought it, but the download didn't work. Nobody sent you an email, the WeTransfer email. Why don't you email me? Because if you bought it, you should have got the WeTransfer email. I was sending them out, and you're supposed to get the instrumental album and the behind the scenes, the making of the album. That's what's up. Serious, can you be quiet? Thank you, baby. But yeah, so email me right there. Email me right there, and I'll see what's up. Yeah, it's definitely an amazing album. We put our work in on this one. We had to travel back and forth from New York to Atlanta. But we made it happen. Somebody said, yeah, but it didn't give me the actual album. Yeah, you got to email me then, BC. It didn't give you the actual. You got to email me. I got to see what's going on. Yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna do the whole party thing. I probably might do that. I got a couple of things in mind. I don't want to speak on too soon, but as far as the party, I would say probably May, maybe May. Maybe May. What's the link to the album? Just go to Apple Music. You just go to Apple Music, and you could listen to it on Apple Music. Shout out to the Sister Karain from New York, holding it down. Shout out to the Sister Karain, always doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you, Karain? What's going on with you, Karain? We just waiting for AA to come in the building. Say a lot of people saying they're gonna make it to the next one. I hope you do. The next one's going definitely gonna be popping. It's gonna be even better than the first one. You know what I'm saying? When is a retreat or group vacation? I don't know. That one is a little more difficult to pull off. That's in my mind too, in terms of making it happen. making it happen. But that one I gotta do some research on that in terms of what I wanted to do with Iceland and all of that. That's a little trip. Here's the brother AA. But I'm gonna keep y'all. I'm gonna keep y'all updated with that. Like, there's a couple things I want to tap into this year. The whole the party thing, the Club 363, the retreat. I got a big event coming up, so there's a couple of things that I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop with. So just thanks for I'm gonna get a separate email so everybody and put everybody on like a special list of to be notified. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's that. That's that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for let my brother AA get everything together. You know what I'm saying?
Le-
And
Legend.
we gonna get started. AA, you good, my brother? Yeah.
Man, I'm a legend. I'm a whole legend. I think so. I think I'm good. think I can. I think I can. I think I can. You remember that? the little engine
Oh
that
yeah,
could?
the little engine that could, the
Yeah.
little engine that could. But yeah, AA's in LA. He been holding it down on the West Coast. He started out here on the East Coast, but he's on the West Coast holding it down.
Hell yeah.
Where will you be dropping more info on the trip? Um, I'll be dropping it here as soon as I find out about it. I'm gonna let everybody know here. But like I said, that one, it may take me a little while to get that one together. I'm not sure, but as soon as I find out, I make significant progress with that. I'm gonna let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I find out, I'm gonna let y'all know. You know what I'm saying?
For
But other
real.
than that, hold up. Okay. Yeah, hey, just let me know when you're ready. I'm just kicking in with the people. Just let me know when you ready to rock and roll.
They can
And
hear us?
yeah. We live right
Okay,
now.
good. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm just kicking and giving the people some updates. Let them know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
You got the best crowd.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah. Yo, hey, check this out. So a sister just said that she met the love of her life in my chat, in the chat on this channel.
That's dope.
Fire. That's fire. You know what I mean?
You know that's what we used to do at LIU. It's families that still is
Oh
together
yeah.
based off of coming to those lectures. You know that.
Yeah. 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 There's a lot of reason to come to the lectures. I mean, you meet like minds, family. You never know who you might meet. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what
So
it is. Somebody said who in Charlotte. Who in Charlotte? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, family. I'm not sure. But let me hold up. Let me make this bigger. Hey, I know you got an amazing presentation for the people.
yeah,
AA is very scholar. AA is the perfect mixture of scholarship and with the hood mixed in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not no more, not no more. He said not no more. Man, hey, man, you Brooklyn all
well,
day,
it's a shame though that people have equated Brooklyn with the hood when in fact, it's just a county of kings
Yeah.
and it's just a landmass that we're gonna talk about tonight and landmass in period,
Hmm.
about where you are. It's sometimes they say it ain't where you from, it's where you at,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Sometimes it's where you from will determine where you go, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
So, all of us know this who try to strive for something. Where you from, you are the ingredient of where you from. You are the magnetic field of where you're from. So
Right.
you oftentimes can get so absorbed in the magnetic field of where you from that you don't even know that you could go someplace else and be something.
That's facts.
And then people you like look at you. Harlem. Harlem is the cornerstone of the African American Renaissance in the going into the 19th 20th century. Like that was the epicenter, and the excellence of the people is still there. However, I don't know if you can still do your same play in Harlem. You might have to have left Harlem to take the field of what you learned
Mm,
and the gospel of what you have to offer
mm,
abroad. Because if you
mm.
just keep it there, you'll get consumed by your environment. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
no
And
facts.
it's very easy to feel unappreciated in a space where everybody is the same. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
For
Hey,
real.
what you dealing with tonight? The name I said. So what happened, family? Is I seen AA. He just put up a simple post, very simple on Instagram. It said water and magnets, and he had a picture of the moon. And it just some things just resonate with you. It just resonated with me. I left a comment, and AA had hollered at me. I was like, man, let's go in. Because I know what AA brings to the table. So I'm like, that whatever you put up, whatever was on your mind, we non-local. Somehow,
Well, I just want to give context to that.
yeah.
I I I am a water sign,
Mm,
an exalted water sign. You
mm.
know, for the astrologers, listen, I don't know if I said that right, but I feel like I'm different as a water sign because I got 5 placements in my sign under Scorpio. So a lot of what I have to offer to humanity at large comes from my propitious alignment upon my birth, you know?
Mm,
So because of people in our contemporaries, brothers like Raku, and you remember Will Brabham. These
mm,
brothers were instructing us years ago about cartography and about it ain't where you from, it's where you at. But it's also like again, it ain't where you at, it's where you from, right?
mm,
So to give further context, when I put the post up and my wateriness as a water
mm,
sign, I
mm,
oftentimes find a great relief in the need to express myself. However, as a Scorpio, I'm only allowed to express myself in the realm of spiritual dialogue or nebulous words or terms that may very well beyond comprehension of common folks. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm, mm,
So I don't seek to always be understood because I've learned over time that that's really not a reality. You'll live your
mm,
entire life thinking
mm.
that you could be understood and you won't.
It's deep.
So I felt like if I put up a post and I feel like my sentiments should be absorbed and felt, the pulse of what I put up should be felt in real time. As I become more mature, I found that the internet is not necessarily your friend if because I'm really from a school of thought where when I was a young person, you was looked at as being a fool or somebody that's a simple-minded, moronic person for you to speak everything that's on your mind.
Right, right.
So now I seen, the irony of this. I seen someone put up a very interesting dialogue regarding the fact that when you was young, if you had a diary and somebody went and found your diary and started reading your diary, you would be upset. But now that we had the internet, we are putting our diary, things that we would put inside of our diary, we're putting it online for others to read it and get mad if they don't read it. You feel me? So I said, that's an interesting, wow, good one. So I go, I I had an observation that if I could see the post and I could see the date of the post, I bet the date of the post corresponds astrologically to my experience that I was having in my location of where I was at. So what I was noticing because I was taking a pulse of my environment, and I feel because of my propitious placement astrologically, I think that I'm empathic in a sense and can feel emotions. And I could also, without not knowing it, I could also express and expose my emotions if they unbalanced. So it's like a dual edge. So I seen while traveling and navigating through the streets in the metropolis, I seen it was a particular energy of, it was almost like a dangerous foolhardiness. And it was an energy that I was familiar with when I was little. It would be this energy that if I say this to somebody to understand, be like, why is y'all playing with me? Why everybody playing so much? Right? And that was kind of the energy. I was like, but in my maturity or the desire to be mature, I was like, you know what? This is just humans operating out of the magnetic field. And they're expressing the waters which in which they are composed, and they do it through their behaviors. And along my journey of becoming more mature, you have to not take things personal. You cannot take human behavior personal. You have to take it as instructive. You know, it has to be
Mm.
something that you appreciate when you see it, because the lack thereof will keep you in the blind. You might be just operating solely off of your own onus, your own idea, so to speak. So you, when you hit me and called me and was like, yo, actually you had commented on the post, and I was like, that was an encouraging moment for me, because I'm like, I enjoy when people that I actually know get something. Like, I'm not really enthused by people that I don't know directly in a direct experience. I enjoy the interactions, whatever, on the internet or whatever. But if I see somebody that actually know me and they comment or make a, something kind or whatever, I'm like, man, that's the purpose of what I guess we do this for, you know? So upon me and you having a conversation, you was like, that'd be an awesome and amazing show, you know?
Mhm.
So I apologize. You did tell me that you would have liked me to present some slides. However, Rich, I'm in a situation right now that I'm transitioning my business model. I'm kind of like concentrating more on visual art in my books. For years, I was a significant portion of my, how I was able to eat and subsist was based off of me designing and presenting my designs on clothing. So now I'm just doing that just for people who know about what I've done, and if they want something, they can pre-order it or whatever, like, and do it custom, as opposed to me investing all of my time and effort into one design and put money into it and just sitting up and seeing if people buy it. So transitioning into this space where I'm at now, I find that uh, my time has been invested in like making a reality. And again, in your terms, I know you love the word manifesting, because you are a manifester, and I've seen you manifest over several years. And I say to you, I say your manifesting abilities are amazing. You heard? And I seen your manifesting ability coupled with the manifesting ability. Do me a favor, one favor, Rich, because
Yeah.
I'm smart, but I'm still affected by my sentient environment. If you could mute your mic, you heard?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to formulate thoughts and I can't even do it. All right. Thank you, King. So I say to you, I appreciate you for stimulating that thought process that you inaugurated in that conversation regarding magnets, magnetic fields, and manifestation was very important. So I appreciate you, and that's why we're here to just give context to the listener. You know, I don't truly endeavor to oftentimes do as many of these type of presentations how we used to. If I do, it's always in the company of people who are friends to me and friends to my friends and friends to my family. I don't like to spread myself out willy nilly with this anybody that just interview anybody. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's not the energy here. So I'm not trying to impose a doctrine on anyone. I'm just here to share my observations regarding what I saw that night when I seen the behaviors and how I coupled it with the magnetic field. So very interesting. We are in the month of Ramadan. Shout out to the Muslims who are participants, even the Muslims who are adjacent to Islam. I know a lot of people are fans of Islam because Islam has gained some sense of popular culture onus. So when I was a kid, nobody wanted to understand what Ahmed means or or wanted to even fathom for one moment the thought of fasting on anything. But now this is a blessed time, and people are participants in the dialogue as well as the cultural iconography. So interesting that we're speaking about magnetic fields, and we are in a time period right now where humans are celebrating the magnetic field among and around them by during the solar period when the sun is out, humans are fasting. And now, very interesting, when they do treat themselves and when they do offer themselves the ability to eat, is during the nighttime when the sun goes down. So, as a symbol literist, as someone who is always trying to understand who I am based off the symbol literacy that I have been presented with, I find that the nighttime as the gift when you can eat is a ancient and very subconscious method of venerating the the lunar cycle as well as the role that the female plays on humanity and in humanity's reality. You could bounce back in, Rich, with the sound, so it don't sound like I'm just talking to myself. When I can hear, because I'm saying like this, it was this the whatever was the background sound where you was at. It was this a little bit. I was trying to get my gears going, and I was registered. My brain was registering the sounds of whatever was going, but you know, you can hit me with the NOI shit, man. Hit me with the that's right, brother, every now and then. You know what I mean? Keep
Teach,
me motivated.
teach,
That's right. There you go. There you go. Motivate your brother. That's what I'm
teach.
saying. Right. So I say the most advanced technology on the actual planet, far beyond anything that artificial intelligence can present, is the phenomenal ability of women, in particular, women of color. And then let me go, because I don't want nobody to get mad at me because I say women of color. Black women or the color blackness has an extreme role in the ability to make things manifest. And one of the things that is the most coveted tool of hers has always and will forever be the magnetic field of the planet. And you see
Mm,
envisaged in her symbolism how much she covets and protects the magnetic field, because in protecting the magnetic field on the planet, she also can protect humanity. So there's some parts of humanity that have been negatively affected by a negative experience with the magnetic field. And when I tell you about the magnetic field, I'm speaking to people who endeavor to try to get themselves out of the religious dialogue, sounding uninformed, speaking from a nationalist or socialized framework of blackness that blinds you from the scientific import of your surroundings. So I would like to remind you that everyone participating in this dialogue, by listening or whatever, you never asked to come here. You were born here, and you were born and birthed under strange, what you might call interesting circumstances. Your parents were melding with their utilities, with their tools that they've been bequeathed by humanity. They were mixing their magnets together.
Mm.
They were mixing their magnets together on the liquid side. They were mixing their magnets together, sentimentality. And then upon birth, you were a part of the magnetic field, and you were evidence that the magnetic field is real. The birth of the child can basically know nothing except for just they say that we know everything when you're a baby, you just don't have the faculties to express it. But the thing that you most know, and the thing that you're most noted for, is your fearlessness in the presence of water. Many people are aware of this, that there is a birthing process where the queens, the sisters, they're allowed to have and can have babies underwater, and they say it's one of the most stress-free and trauma-free environments for birthing experiences. And then you can find people who are training babies to swim. They just throwing the baby inside of pools, and the babies just automatically swim. They don't get scared within the water because they have been trained in the method and the modality of the magnetic field. So, very interesting. You ask a nursing mother who goes to work every day if the magnetic field is real, and ask the babysitter if the magnetic field is real. And the baby can ascertain or understand or know that the mother is very close or en route home, and will cry or make or gesticulate to the world audibly that it desires the reciprocal expression and the currency of the magnetic field. And that respect becomes the nurturing metals and metallic agents that are encoded in nutrients like spark plugs. She gives the baby life force energy through milk. Thus, the baby has a deep connection with her based off of the fact that it knows where its food is at, and that the baby will start crying, and that the lactating mother, she know this is a fact. Ask women who breastfeed, they'll start lactating as they get closer and closer to the child,
That's
right?
facts. That's facts.
So now you can also read the magnetic field when you look at the symbols. And one of the most beautiful expressions of Ma'at or Isis, Ost, excuse me, is the expansion of the wings. You ever seen the goddess expanding the wings? And then you'll see another envisaged image of one wing is this way and another wing is like this, right?
Right. Yeah. Mm.
And what is it about the feathers and wings and humans? Humans know a lot about magnetic fields. They learn where to establish civilization based off of acknowledging and monitoring the behavior of creatures around them. And one of the most interesting things is that feather, which is equated with truth. If you know anything about feathers independently, feathers have magnetic principles involved with them. A feather can respond when rubbed on something and create frictional force, and the feather can actually have a charge of a magnet associated with it. So, feathers, when you see the mother with wings, those are the wings that she uses to protect her child from the magnetic fields. And the fields of the magnets that stand to harm humanity. So now, uninformed nationalism without African spirituality will have you thinking that your blackness is enough under the sun. Anywhere you go under the sun, your melanin is automatically transforming into some form of brilliance or genius. Okay. Let me remind you that crows have melanin and so do roaches. It's going to require some more things for you to extrapolate divine intelligence and place it into parameters that you can actually utilize. And one of those things is acknowledgement of the magnetic field. You must be able to acknowledge the magnetic field. How do you know where magnetic fields exist independent of you? See, many of us spiritually, we just think that some people just tell you you could just go. I call them the placebo people. They you just give them anything that's cultural, and they say, "Oh, I can feel it." They say, "Oh, I can feel that." I just felt what you said. It's spiritual placebo, right? So you think inherently you just want to say yes because other people are there and you want to sound down. I get it. You know, that's a whole nother psychological conversation. But we learn about the magnetic field through divine observation. Our ancestors left us elaborate images of these eyes that have defied time, the Ujet. They have defied time. Cultural morphology have changed that eye into the eye of providence, and now we got it on dollars. That is one of the greatest symbols ever, is the image of to know is the eye. African spirituality, shout out to Brother Oba, offers us the empowerment given to us by our ancestors by doing what? Giving us the peep. Let us peep game, see it. So one of the greatest tools of survival is acknowledging the magnetic field and knowing the power of your eyes, as your eyes are directly connected to your brain. You can control your magnetic field if you but only knew how to use your eyes half the time. Sometimes your eyes and your nose is connected. They're not that far from one another. Fuck around, you can smell, excuse my language. The elder told me to stop cursing so everybody can hear what I'm saying. Redact that from the statement. The universe is hearing me. I don't want to cuss. But Lord forbid, if you could smell your eyes, what would you say? Huh, right? So I go and I look and I like to use my eyes and I go and I look at National Geographic because I want to learn about humans. Humans, though, have this cortex where over several millennia, millions of years, they have created this elaborate ability to conceal their thoughts and motivations with appearances. Whereas observing nature, you will find out more about your motivations to survive than asking another human what's on their mind. Because they're going to mislead you and take you someplace else. Some part of their survival complex is if they don't see an affinity or an immediate result of interaction, it's a lot of subterfuge. Okay, so now I'm noticing when I look at the National Geographic, and then I compare National Geographic with my overview of many of the major myths and themes of ancient time. We are imparted some of our greatest truths by observation of animals, life forms, and the things that they do and participate in as they seek to survive. And just as of recent, I saw something very interesting. It was like a bird that appears to be like it was a skinny pelican. And there was this fish, and this pelican I know loves fish. But this particular bird saw this fish in shallow water and seen that the fish was stranded. And so the bird picked the fish up by its tail, moved it, and tried to take it back to deeper water so it could survive. So right then and there,
Hmm.
I said,
Yeah.
what does that mean? I said, does that mean that that bird is kind, considerate, and loves fish? Absolutely not. The bird is a master of knowing when things are in and out of season. You see, the bird commiserates around fruits. It has a different ability to look at the color spectrum and can tell when something is out of season. And if the bird is subsisting off of sea creatures, then the bird has an affinity towards the water and communicates directly to the water via a magnetic field, knowing when in fact the meal is done, so to speak. So, what was the bird doing? Was the bird being kind and nice to the fish? They two different species. The birds are not kind, neither, nor are humans. And the universe is consistently trying to destroy you. And the brilliance of consciousness and civilization comes from the ability, your human ability to circumvent all of the aggressive onslaught of what nature has in store for you. For real. So without genius, you can't live anywhere. I dare you I dare you to go outside and try to live off the land and try to be homeless in Chicago around January. I promise you, try it in Buffalo, try it in New York City. Uh, Expose yourself to those elements and you will die.
Mm.
You
That's
see?
facts.
So we know magnetic fields and humans operate with them, but then the animal world does so as well. So now, how does this come into the realm in the form of when we speak of manifestation? A lot of times when people say, I want to magnetize things towards me, they don't establish things to propel themselves off of. You just can't say, I want to I want to actualize and manifest and to bring into being this list of things that I want. It's going to take some people. Maybe your kids might inherit it. Maybe you might get it. It might not come on time the way you want it to come on time, unless you identify the magnetic field and relinquish yourself from this task. Humans think that they could watch trees grow. You'll waste your whole life, and you go ahead and put your ear to a tree unaided by any electrical device and try to hear the sound of a tree growing. You're not finna do that. So it stands to say that there are some realities that surround you that you can access intelligence by observing the natural, what I call the natural expression. So now they got this new. I'm going to digress a little bit. They got, I usually make amenities to participate in culture, popular culture. I'm an artist. I like art. The vocation of making funny is cool. Satire is a tool. It can be a device to take over the world. The Pilgrim have used it effectively, and I see they have this new TV, or I guess it's a series or a movie, talk about something of the magical Negro, right? And
Yeah,
I
I heard.
guess
I
it's a
think that's a
comedy.
movie. I think that's a
Yeah, it's a
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
And rarely do I really speak on uh popular culture kind of stuff, because I'll be like, you know, I'm living in a real life, man. I'm trying to impart a lot of stuff. I don't got time to sit up and talk about people and about current events. I let the little homies, the little niggas do that. Talk about other people all day, you know? So I said, I was kind of offended by the course of the narrative, because they're missing the mark. And this is the lack of knowledge that humans present themselves with, not knowing the truly essential components of survival is knowing your magnetic field and where the magnetic fields are and how you're affected by these magnetic fields. And one of the most offensive magnetic fields that humanity has ever had in the exposure to has been the magnetic field emitted from the Caucasian race. No disrespect to my pilgrims that know me. You buy the books, you the homie. Love is love, for real. But the world would be doing way better if white folks was able to be friendly to themselves. Because the whole world is suffering as they mimic the white boy, go back and forth and talk smack and big smack and compete amongst himself to his own people. Always talk about all the violence that we have committed against each other. Let me tell you something. The pilgrim have destroyed himself more than anybody in any culture, black or brown, could do to their own. They, in fact, make historical references and huge world war. It's almost like their brand, homie. You heard? And I tie this into the magnetic field is because they magnetic field in which they derive, you can't say it was corrupted by anything. You got to say it lacked something. They are products of the locality in which the elemental forces which congealed and created the infrastructural mandates to allow the first breath to enter into that initial body, and all of the elements and the surrounding things that occurred, right? The magnetic field is missing in his cultural iconography. He does not have a origin in culturally acknowledging the magnetic field until he gets into science, modern science. Well, we had to suffer under his lack of knowledge and lack of knowing about the magnetic field, and we all have been besmirched in some sense, or touched or affected negatively by his inability to interact cohesively amongst himself, because he does not have the architectural blueprints nowhere, in no cultural iconography, no ancient books whatsoever, and no monuments to profess a knowledge of the magnetic field. He don't know. Where are the deities connected to his cultural iconography and his knowledge as that pertains to civility and maintenance of the human species dynamic? Is lacking, and now the world suffers from that. And now it comes under the form of this. This is how you see the suffering, right? Here you go. You were forged, many of us, you and I, forged, developed, and forced in many respects to subsist in the presence of concrete and strange architectural mandates dealing with 90-degree angles and stuff like that. Upon birth, they don't burn incense, myrrh, frankincense, or bring gold to your birthing process. But yet, morphogenically, through morphology, we have this inserted in the Jesus motif. This non-existent pilgrim who never existed, but you tell it, not you, homie, the people, peripheral people, the religious blacks, that their nationality and their nationalism have to be connected to honoring Jesus. They got to make Jesus black, whatever. But in your desire to make Jesus black, you don't have the birthing process in the same form that you have with your own. So there wasn't no frankincense or myrrh to announce the presence of your arrival. So thus your magnetic field is thrown off. They giving the babies vitamin K in the eyes and silver. What's the silver? Something else. They just wilding the people up, man, on that level, because somebody doesn't have the magnetic field encoded in their cultural iconography. They only got it through science and through peripheral science. Okay, so no disrespect to nobody, but each of us racially are direct correlates to the magnetic field surrounding our indigenous birthplaces. Your infrastructure, your color, your infrastructure, your ability to access pertinent or significant information, quantify it in the form of civilization and cultures predicated on where you are at indigenously on the globe. We got very significant locations. This people all over the planet, and we left remnants of the proof that we was over there all over the planet, right? So one of the ways that we knew where the best location is in the wilderness of North America is we brought ancient practices of being able to observe the locations where civilizations culminate. They usually culminate around bodies of water, back to water. So the majority of the most significant deities that we presently are aware of, they are creatures that occupy bodies of water and subsist from that environment. Now, who is the deity? You can ask the chat. What is the most prevalent deific figure for you mentally that's directly related to the mother? In fact, let's go the midwife. Who's the midwife deity?
All right, y'all. Let me see if somebody put it in the chat. Midwife deity, y'all.
It starts with a T. And they've been using her name. They've been using her name to make religious books. Now you got a book called the Torah, and you don't even know where the term Torah and the Torah and all that come from. You equating it to men, and you think God writes books. Niggas are crazy.
Yeah, I see it.
Ta'ert.
Okay. Yep.
And as a water deity, let's make another example. I seen this. I seen Ta'ert because she's the midwife. I seen Ta'ert. Let me give you two instances of what you see them do. They very highly covetous and love their children more than anything. A alligator, crocodile, alligator, all of them niggas is the same, went to go eat one of her young, and all of the hippopotamus rampaged and went in on all the alligators because of that. It was a retributive act. They had to get some get back about theirs. That's how they operate. And one of the things that they do also to disorient their enemy is that they create whirlpools. And they're so dense and so heavy that on each of their feet they have 4 nails, or four what would be called phalanges. And I think the universe speaks and teaches us through observation, and how apropos for her with her 4s on 4s to be the emblem of the galactic center, which is 4.4, shout out to Blue Pill, 44, 4.4 light years away from the planet. Take 4.4 million light years, whatever, to get from the galactic center to us, right? Boom. And then I seen an instance where a gazelle had unfortunately, a young one, had unfortunately fell into the watery area or the swamp-like area where the hippopotamus resides. And just like the bird with the fish, in this instance, the hippopotamus lifted the gazelle out of the mud and freed it so that it would not succumb and die in the waters. Is that not an indication of the divine science of the magnetic field? Not only is the hippopotamus aware of the fact that a gazelle in the water over here is going to bring the enemies to her and her children over there, let me free it. Then it's too young, and it's not a transgressor, nor is it an enemy to them, so it's not delightful to and delicious to devour. You see? So now, when you go look back at ancient literature. You can get this book. Shout out to my brother. I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to Chicago in the first week of April. I'm coming to Chicago. I'm re-releasing a vinyl album. I did the art over again. Here's the album. This is one of the first albums I ever produced, Rich. You know, you're a musician. I produced this, and it's executively produced by myself and the Queen Tiffany Kelly, aka Cindy, and this is the premiere album where we were both demonstrating 10 years ago. I want to say it has to be over 10 years. This is like a 10-year anniversary. It has to actually be over 10 years. We were demonstrating our ability to hear the kind of music that we wanted to hear. So I'm coming to Chicago and I'm bringing the new
Congrats
edition of
on
that
that.
album. Thank you, brother. And the music is amazing, man. It's terrific music, and it's timeless. And we were doing something that I will call complex minimalism. We were doing some complex stuff with a minimal amount of equipment, which is nothing short of genius. And it's one of the greatest contributions I feel that I've ever done, besides teaching and running my mouth, has been some music that will last and be here when I'm gone. And I find myself at 49 years old, Rich. I don't want to sound like a naive person to say I wish I knew what I knew now back then, because it all adds up. I think about the death far more often nowadays than I ever did ever before, King.
Wow.
And not in a negative way, just in a way that I'm like, am I leaving this planet with inundating it with enough information for the people who deal and know what we're doing to feel confident about their experience here? How can I improve the quality of my life if I can't improve the quality of people who come after me, knowing that my life would never end? You know, my physical presence may dissipate and you might see change on the physical level, but I think one of the greatest goals of the human is to do what? Is to leave something behind. So we coming to Chicago, and I'm mentioning this because I'm doing a pop up with my brother Yoel at his bookstore, Underground Bookstore. Shout out to the Underground Railroad. Remember that? Huh? Black Magic 363. Remember that? Huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now we still got the underground play going on. Shout out to brother Yoel. That's one of my elders in Chicago and one of the best bookstores in the Eastern Hemisphere. Your Western Hemisphere, but the Eastern on the East Coast is in Chicago at Underground Bookstore. And I'm going to be providing people with the information and the time periods in which we're going to be there. And he has this amazing collection of books, and one in particular. And I gotta do this because I don't want to go against my. Shout out to the brother 19 Keys. I got an opportunity to say some great stuff on his show, and I spoke about the sharing of technology among our people. And our technology in this environment, obviously in many respects, is the information that we call consciousness. But uh, I don't want to just be pilfering and just be sitting up running my mouth telling people about things that are of a spiritual nature so they could just take them and weaponize the information. So some stuff is not for everybody. Some stuff you just can't just overtly just say on a spiritual realm, and chalk it to spirituality among people who are not initiated in the thoughts that we speak about. My teachers have the audacity to say things um, like one of the reasons, with all due respect, without nobody feeling no kind of way, My teachers told me, and I tested this, and I seen this, and I went and I looked, and my teacher said years ago that one of the things that's dangerous to the planet is when estrogen leaves the planet gravitationally and goes to space, bro. So if you say that,
Wow.
and women say, what, I ain't supposed to be an astronaut, right? And you go, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I get it. But meanwhile, you look in biblical and all the religions, they have a special focus, and they demonize her water and her magnet whenever she experiences it. They say in the Bible, you're not supposed to sit in the same chair a woman sat in because it will affect your magnetic field and take you away from God. It would make it where your prayers to God don't even work. Do you hear the religious, untested science and the dogma and the wild world of sports in that statement? You heard? It's amazing what humans will believe in and what they participate in. But the magnetic field that she possesses, we all come out of that magnetic field. They say that when women menstruate, they say that their percentage of dialogue and they speak eloquently during that time and are far more verbal and process thoughts at a different pace. This tells you something about blood, doesn't it? Huh?
Damn sure
Doesn't it
does.
tell you about the magnetic field and how important it is?
Yeah.
And now, how can we live in a world that says that by the blood of Jesus are all things cleansed, but not the blood of your mama? That's crazy, son. You heard? That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh man.
That's crazy. It's insane, in fact. So I go back to the magnetic field. When we get to Chicago, and the technology that we share, let me go back on my Bobby Hemmett. Let me go back to my point. Shout out to Bobby, right? You know, we go all the way out there, they gotta bring it back home, right? I say, I want y'all to come out, and I hope the brother has, I'm gonna tell him to hold me a copy. But the book, I know the book is upwards of 500 to 600, maybe $1,000. But I'm going to get me a copy, and I think everybody should have it. It's called The Greatest Story Never Told by Leonard Cantrell. I first heard about this book from Reverend Valentine. Reverend Valentine has been telling us about the magnetic field for over 35 to 40 years. Has been telling us about the importance of the African spirituality and the spiritual dialogue that has to be had simultaneously and beside the nationalistic one as well. How can you be a nationalist and you say your point of reference and this thing here belongs to me, and you don't have a cosmology totally infused with all of your tools required for you to acknowledge and understand the magnetic field? The Christian knows it. The evidence of them knowing about magnetic fields is imprinted in the narrative all throughout. I'll give you an example. Uh, uh, how did Noah know that the storm was over or that there was land on the planet? He had birds on it, but they say he had two of everything. One of the birds ain't come back. You heard? You remember that? And then one bird
Yep.
came back. One bird came back with an olive, meaning that you follow the edicts and you follow the observed behavior of the environment to restore the magnetic field or understand its import. Another thing Biblically, in the Book of Kings, to my Masonic brothers, they speak of the great artificers of the spiritual home for deity. The house made for God was built by what? With tools that could not be heard while the building was being built. Where did they get that from? That sounds like some African spiritual practices when the secret society members of the African spiritual tribes and the leaders of the tribe, when everyone else has to go rest at night, go to sleep, go lay your ass down, they're up building amazing things like bridges of cross bodies of water that would be dangerous to you and I, that would present danger, and that would present a series of obstacles in the darkest of night. They're up constructing a bridge that's made with nothing metal at all, just from the material inside of their environment. We got several instances where our environment dictates our ability to manifest. And this is why city complexes and culturally are, when you go to certain cultures, when you go to India, they have Vastu or Vastu, architectural building. It's almost the same thing as the feng shui of our Asian brothers. And then, very interesting motif you find in East Africa, you find around the church complexes or the rituals, that you'll find the women in particular will have umbrellas, and it's not even raining, but they will be utilizing umbrellas in the form of a spiritual utility. This is something to deal with the magnetic field. There's some things that you can request of this world, but the sun will impede the progress of that thing in which you ask for. Islamically, very interesting, during the lunar cycle that Ramadan follows, the last 10 days of Ramadan, one of those days is called the Laylatul Qadri, the night of power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers any prayer that the Muslim makes. But this is the funny thing, or the interesting thing about Islamic prayer, that it gives you indication and teaches you how to perform the request of things that you desire. And you do that, the first course of action to restore or maintain a magnetic field is what? Before you pray, what do you have to do before you pray? You have to go to the waters. You have to perform ablution. And ablution alone is not enough. They got something called a ghusl. Ask the Muslims what a ghusl is. No ghusl, without ghusl, without stinja, without wudu, you have no prayer. The prayer don't even count. Stinja, for those who don't know, a lot of people, you walking around asking the universe to treat you a certain kind of way, and you don't wipe your ass using water. You running around skid marked out. You skid marking, asking the universe to present you with blessings, but you got the skid marks, homie. For real.
Oh,
it's like
man.
that.
Oh,
so
man.
how you gonna access anything like that with that? So now, culturally, how do you get into magnetic fields? There's so many different ways to address the magnetic field. and allow me to go even more and get even more nebulous. I'm gonna tell you something. When I was a young person, the easiest way to not get what you want is to constantly act like you chasing it. And I remember that it was like a cultural practice of going outside. When you go outside, this before phones was out, and the brothers that I'm 49, this brother's my age, a little older, whatever. They'll tell you before dudes had phones, they go outside with a pen in their pocket and pieces of paper, and they go like this. Every time they see a female, they ask, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" It's like your neck be broke. You like this. Every time you turn around, you like this. You looking at, ooh, look at that, look at that. You become a looky loo. You're looking everywhere. You're the reason why they got you. They call you rubberneck. That's what happened. Nosy people be driving rubbernecking. They're looking at accidents and causing a bunch of stoppage and slow stuff in there. It's the same thing with manifesting. You think that you're going to manifest and bring towards what you want in the light of day, you're bugging. It's almost like saying that you want to use a candle to help you on a court case. That's not unfounded. But who sits up and watches the candle burn all night and don't get no rest? Impossible. So magnetic fields are in place already that are here to be manipulated. And one of the most significant forces of the magnet is this. When you was little, you know this the favorite part of the magnet is when they go against each other, bro. In fact, if you turn yourself into one of the magnets and you have something to do and you want to go somewhere in life, you're going to have to transform your magnet where you actively acknowledge where you are, what you don't want, what you used to want, and transform your magnet in such a way where you repel the shit that you don't want and the shit that you don't need, and utilize the magnetic push away to a new trajectory. Now, that don't mean that you got to stop dealing with the humans that you love. You don't have to sacrifice the love you have to find a love that you that is yet to be discovered. But if you do want to obtain something, there's some things that you have to abstain from. Obtainment is through acknowledgement of that which is to be abstained from. If you want to obtain awesome and amazing and a beautiful relationship with people that you love while you human, and that's an amazing goddamn achievement for one to want to have, is to be loved and to be understood and in the company of love and wisdom. Now, one of the things that's required for that, though, however, is for you to concentrate on that which you want and not that which you don't want. And a lot of us think magnetizing something into your life beneficial is you constantly thinking about the very thing that you don't want. You think by concentrating on what you don't want, that somehow you're going to build the wherewithal to magnetically bring into existence the things that you require. And it's not that, that's not the case. You have to divorce yourself from acknowledging limitations. And a lot of y'all, it's very difficult speaking to African American sometime because you almost have to debase yourself, brother and sister. You got to go put on a spacesuit and call it the hood. I'm down with the hood type type shit. Feel me? You got to talk like this and all that just to reach your folks. And I don't know how that stands to serve us. Where for years I remember this. If you was intelligent, people was making you look like you was a sucker. Dudes questioning all type of shit about your reality. If you just a little too smart, nigga, you're weird ass. How they do you, you see? So this should be an indicator for you. A lot of you want to make things manifest, but you have forgotten the first law of occultism, or you never knew it. That you're not supposed to be telling everybody your ambitions and the shit that you gotta show and prove. You ain't here to be sitting up running your mouth. The tongue tell the teeth what to do. The tongue is a magnetic device. The tongue is a magnetic device, and so are you. Your liver is a magnetic device. Your heart is a magnetic device. You are a magnet. When you walk on top of that concrete, though, your whole life wearing sneakers, you wondering why a lot of people can't manifest certain stuff. You niggas don't wear hard bottom shoes, man. You ain't never had a wood shoe, bro. And you forget the utility of reality. I got a good Ferragamo. Let me want to do a play. Let me want to really manifest something, son. I'm putting my shoes on. I promise you. How you gonna manifest in the magnetic world and you running around with rubbers on rubber what you call it? At the bottom of your sneakers your whole life. Ask somebody, it's somebody up here right now that think they know more than us, that know everything. It's a nigga right now think he got everything more than us. That nigga, when the last time he went in the backyard, took his socks off and walked on a lawn, on the grass, and asked the universe for something?
Wow.
Before you go make an announcement on the internet and start telling your friends what you want and what you is and what you doing and all that, go outside at nighttime, take your shoes off, plant your feet in the grass, and look up at the sky and stop acting like you lonely. Stop acting like you lonely. There's a blade of grass speaking to you right there. You heard? You feel me?
Yeah.
I tell people we in a community. We in a vast community. The community is the evidence of the community is in our magnetic fields. You heard? So now we notice that every culture, when we spoke about our light-skinned Caucasian folks, you know, and about the magnetic field, we wasn't trying to make them feel no kind of way. We're not here to make people feel bad about nothing. We trying to empower people so they can know who we are. It's in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say that he has created man in different expressions, so not that one may be better than the other, but so that they might know one another. So you can tell when a people have improved their magnetic field. They start getting darker. Yeah. But you can tell when we have been negatively affected by the magnetic field. I don't care how dark you is, niggas start getting a gray hue to them. Yeah. Too much alcohol, too much orgasms, too much staying up all night. You heard? Too much smoking, not enough hydration. You gonna start getting a dull hue to you, bro. You heard? That Vaseline and none of that cocoa butter, shea butter, shit gonna bring that back, Jack. I'm telling you, for real, for real.
That's facts,
So
man. You dropped it tonight, man. I like this flow you got going on, man. the people really we really enjoyed it, man. It was like story time with A Rashid, man.
That's a good one because I didn't eat today. I have not eaten yet, so my magnetic field is of service to the people, and I
Excellent.
appreciate them. I appreciate your ear and your listening audience, and shout out to the people who know about my website. That's myson.com. I got one of the
Indeed.
most illest names of a website, and we got material up there right now. We have the book. We have books, rather. We have digital books as well as physical books, as well as art that goes with the books as well. You know, for
Right,
real.
right.
Shout out, shout out to everybody in our immediate circle, man, and all the beautiful family down in Atlanta. I can't wait to
Uh-huh.
come see y'all. And this time, Rich, hold me to this, man.
Yeah.
I'm coming up there on the mountain, man.
Woo!
I got to come up there on the mountaintop, talking all this magnetic field shit. Cause
Yo,
hey, if you don't get your magnetic field ass up on this mountain, 6:30 in the morning with us, yeah.
man,
So it's a
listen,
go.
man.
Hold me to that, for
Oh yeah,
real.
nah, I definitely
And
look
I'm gonna
forward.
be up there with Blue Pill with the gold water doing push-ups. You feel me?
That's what's up.
Get my
That's
life
what's up,
right,
man.
for real.
Yeah.
And then I heard you like a conscious party promoter or something. They
Yeah,
saying
I
that
got
this the new
yo.
iteration, like you making the people feel good now. You know,
Yeah,
we've acquired all this stuff. Now, when do we celebrate? Kind of thing. I'm
it's
feeling this, bro.
it's Club 363. That's the new
Come
movement.
on, man.
Club 363.
Come on, man. You a co-legend for that.
Gotta
For
have you
real.
up in there, man. Hey,
For
hey, hey,
real.
tell the people anything else you got going on where they can support you or anything else you want them to know before you get out of here, my brother.
Well, I'm gonna let them know that I'm gonna be in what you call it in Chicago. The first week of April, I'm on the radio. Yeah, I'm on the show now. That's all right. I'll call you right back when I get over. All right. So we going to Chicago. Can you still hear me, Rich?
Yeah, you still good. You still good.
Okay. So we're going to Chicago and we're doing a pop up. We also celebrating. Um, uh, 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 it's like Chicago's a very special place for me. I was born there, and this is the 10th year of my mother's passing. You know, and it's a lot of people that still have their parents, and shout out to you. I hope you really enjoy the time that you have with your parents and your folks, because I miss my mama every day, bro. You know,
Yeah, I feel you.
so
I feel you. Same
one of
here,
the
brother.
that I'm giving to myself is I'm going to do some teaching down here in Chicago, and I'm bringing some of my some of my art and my new iterations. Concentrate more on visual art as it expresses itself, through my books and my way of thinking. And I'm adding value to the people because my visual art is going to be highly coveted and sought after, bro. For real. And I'm leaving enough space in the secondary market for people to resell stuff. And in the future, I'm telling you, with with us, the great value of the Americas is the fact that we encapsulate experiences within items, things that can be utilized as current, you know. And in the event that the little greenbacks, disappear, there's somebody that finds a great value in a DVD, in a VHS tape, in a picture, and they'll trade food for that. You feel me? The mind is powerful and it's a beautiful thing. And my Cash App too is amazing.
I just
Cash
put it on the
App,
screen. What is it? It's A Rashid Art, right?
yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Yeah, I got family. I got the brother. If you want to support the brother's Cash App. Thank you to Gerald Hodges Jr. for putting that on in the
Thank you,
chat.
Brother Daryl.
Yeah, thank you. It's $ AA Rashid Art. All right, that's his Cash App. Show the brother some love. The brother's always coming through and dropping some knowledge, dropping some wisdom on the family. So definitely appreciate that. Hey, I definitely appreciate the maturity in your in your teachings. I can see the maturity, and I look forward to the Stone Mountain trip, man. I definitely look forward to that, man.
I'm down with it, man, and I look forward to giving instruction in Atlanta. It's a propitious area for me. I do great work there. You know, it's very kind to me. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? For
right.
real. And I appreciate you as usual. Thank you, King. And I don't want to hold you. Enjoy the remainder of your night. I'm gonna break me some bread and light me some reefer right now, man. Get right, Jack. I don't want to do it in front of everybody though.
And before we get out of here, hey, I gotta talk to you in the near future too, so you can make an appearance at Club 363. We need to get you on stage because I
Oh,
got some
let's get that soccer
got
shit.
yeah,
You got that. You got that money, man.
got
And
it.
you rich, Pop. I'm
We
telling you, Pop.
we go get AA out here at the Club 363. Shout out also to the brothers Bashir. That's Key's brother, 19 Key's brother. I seen him in the chat. I actually went to Bashir's
Very talented artist as
very
well.
tough. I went to his album listening party when Keys was in Atlanta for something, and they had an after party. And I
Yeah.
went to Bashir's joint. It was off the hook. He had the live band there and all that. Shit was dope. It was dope. So shout out to Bashir. Got
He's
to
a
get him there.
effortless.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely. Hey, with that being said, family, tomorrow come back 9 o'clock. I'm gonna have Flabrun, the sister Flabrun, on here. We're gonna have a great galactic discussion. With that being said, I'm gonna thank the brother A. Rashid. Thank you to the chat, and we are signing out, family. Peace, everybody.
Peace and love.